RWP is brought to you by Porch Beer Entertainment.
This is the time of year where
wedding season.
Outdoor weddings are hit or miss because weather-wise, because it's just like a gamble, a complete gamble. Because it's one of those things. Outdoor weddings are great when they work out, like the weather's nice. You got people. I almost burped. But
probably do DiGiorno again. I think.
That's totally fine.
Yeah. We got the margarita again, but then we also have you only like pepperoni, right?
I mean,
that's your thing.
I don't like supreme pizzas.
That's what I mean. Like it's either pepperoni or nothing, right?
No. I like cheese. I like pepperoni. I like sausage. I like
just not all of it together.
I don't like. No. I like all of it together. I like pizzas. Yeah.
Okay. Well, we just got pepperoni.
What I don't
because
like.
I thought you might like pepperoni better than.
What I don't like is anything with like olives.
So the supreme pizza from Costco, you're not on board.
Not on board. Anytime you guys would bring
those,
those,
so good
because there's too many things on the pizza. It's too much going on, and it makes me. I'm just not a fan. I like. You're right. I like simple pizzas.
Yeah, I mean nothing wrong with that, I guess.
But no, go ahead, take your tie off, loosen it up, man. Stay a while. I do like that color combination there.
Thanks, man.
It's a solid. What would you say? How many dress shirts are in your rotation right now? Would you say?
14.
It's a good amount. I mean, you got to.
Yeah.
If you're wearing them every day,
yep,
you have to have a rotation
14.
going.
We've pretty much Ashley. I think at some point just volunteered to pick out my outfits and stuff in the morning.
It's helpful. Yeah.
She's long gone basically when I get out of the shower.
Yeah.
So she'll lay it out.
No, that's great.
But
because then you don't even have to think about it.
And we cut out. I donated a bunch of ties I don't wear. So now my tie
I got
collection.
A lot of ties.
My tie's a little more condensed now.
That's good.
Now I can add different ones I'm missing because I just kept buying the same version of the tie.
I've got a lot of ties, and I have a tie rack where they're all on. But the thing is, I don't ever have to wear ties.
Yeah.
But I did last night. I had to wear a full suit. I wore my gray suit, nice dress shirt, pink tie. Went with the pink tie last night.
Nice, that's a good look. Gray and pink is very good.
It was an author event at Congressional Golf Course. It wasn't. I didn't get to play golf. It was in one of like the big ballrooms or whatever.
Okay,
it's this super rich guy. So I have never felt more poor than being in that room of people that, because to be a member of that club, it's like $100,000 just to like get in, and then it's thousands of dollars every month is your dues. And so the other people that were there, a lot of them were members, and then his clients, because he's a big finance guy. His whole brand is the middle class millionaire. So he goes after people that have like $5 million, $10 million. Like those are his clients. So I'm at the fancy golf course with my one suit. I have one suit.
So are you his like author?
He wrote a book with us. Yeah.
So you're the guy assigned to his case,
exactly.
Or whatever?
His case. Yes, I'm his lawyer.
Right.
And so I just went. It was like I was there as support. So it's like, hey, because here's a representative from our publishing house. But it was one of those things where when you go to those sort of events and you're by yourself and you don't know anybody else, it's one of those. I think some people can handle that situation well, and then me, I did not enjoy it because I did a lot of kind of standing and just kind of looking out the window. Kind of standing by the window with like my beer and just kind of standing out, and
it's difficult.
Well, especially with that crowd, because what am I going to talk about? Yeah, I know Lamborghinis, right? They're great.
I don't know because and it's also just like it's like when you go to a party and you don't know anyone there but the person who invited you.
Exactly, and they're busy being
like,
the host.
I'll come, because you invited me, but it's just like you really have to turn on like
the fake charm.
The outgoing jets, the fake charm. You got to keep that going the entire time. So you just have to walk around and be like, hey, Ben Simpson, I'm helping him publish his book. What do you guys do?
Well, that's the thing. So in theory, it shouldn't be that difficult. But at one point...
But it is, man. It is.
At one point, I'm standing by the window with my beer, and there's like an older gentleman to my right, thick-rimmed glasses. He's got a little plate of some appetizers and some of the food that they had.
Bond with him, yeah.
And so I kind of turned to him, and I was like, heck of a course, right? And he was like, and then he just walked away. And I was
oh no!
Oh man! I had
Didn't
another
even play
lady.
ball with you.
I had another lady.
Took his ball and went home.
I thought was about to engage me in conversation, because she kind of gave me the eyes, not like sex eyes, but like she gave me the eyes.
Sex eyes.
And like she's like, let's go in the back, and no, she gave me the eyes, and then she came over to me, and I was like, oh, here's my moment. I didn't even have to force this. She's coming to me. We're all good. And she was like, can you watch my beer for me? And she put the beer down on the counter, and then like went to go get food.
My first question. Were you dressed like the waiters?
No, because they didn't have jackets on. They had just ties and shirts.
Was they pink ties?
No.
Oh, okay.
Blue, dark blue.
Okay.
Blue, like Jack's Mannequin, that song. Dark blue.
Jack's Mannequin.
But
deep reach.
She asked, can you watch my beer? And of course, what am I going to say in that situation? I'm not going to go no. So I was like, oh, sure. And then she like walked away for a bit.
Why does she need her beer watched at a exclusive multi-million-dollar party?
I think she was worried about them coming and taking it and like thinking she was done with it. I agree, because it was an open bar. So she said, "Can you watch my beer?" She walked away. She comes back and she's like, "Oh, thank you." And I was like, "Yeah," and I didn't even take a sip of it. And she was kind of like, "What?" And I was like, man. "Oh, just kidding." And she was
all
like,
your jokes,
and dude,
dang.
nothing was hitting. It was nothing. I was dying.
It's a ghost town. That sucks. See, at least you actively tried a little bit, but it's like it's much harder than it looks. And then when you're in that sort of environment too, there's like those added social layers, because not only are they strangers, but they're in a How hard do you put it down? Ben,
not that hard. But I don't. But I don't put it down that hard.
I don't know what
just
you're
gravity,
doing
man.
to it. No, I don't think it's gravity. Isn't different on your side of the
gravity.
table than it is here.
I think it is, man.
But like
these land sharks are good though.
Because like they are. What are you gonna like talk about at that point? Like there's
that's
so many
the
different
thing.
layers you have to break through.
So you're right. I mean, it's not. I could have just been like, hey, I'm the publisher. I'm with the publishing house that did his book.
You should have said, hey, I'm publishing his book, and stuff like that, and
well,
that would be your go-to line. But like,
it would be.
Everyone's stonewalling you at the door. It's like they can smell the pour,
That's the problem is I didn't even get the opportunity
that sucks
to get to that point with these people because everything was being stonewalled. So Stonewall Jacksoned, as they say.
Yeah, that's the
in the industry. But I did get some free beers.
Colloquialism.
And the food, I will say. So there
Very
were two plates that they were passing out. One was this crab ball cake thing. Nice. It was great. This other one was chicken, and it was breaded with like waffle mix. So it was chicken and waffles on a stick, basically.
That's amazing.
And it was unbelievable.
So the outside was waffle.
Did they waffle flavoring to it or something? Or there must have been something in there because it tasted like chicken and waffles. It was unbelievable. I had maybe 7.
That's awesome.
Maybe that's why nobody was talking to me. They're like, he just keeps taking the plate from the guy.
Is that him? Yeah, that's him.
It was interesting. Now, of course, I had to travel all the way on the Beltway at rush hour for this 6:00 event at Congressional, which was great because the Beltway is a blast.
Oh, it's super great.
It's
very forgiving when you're running out of time.
Oh, for sure. My favorite part is when none of the cars move. Like that's my favorite part where we're like, somebody's got to be moving at some point, right? Like way up there, somebody's moving. We're not all stopped, right? But we are. We're all stopped. And my other favorite part of the Beltway is when they take 5 lanes and they condense it down to 2. In the middle of rush hour. So it's like, all right, we're going to do a merge lane here, and then here's another merge lane, and then now there's 2 lanes. 2 lanes, and this is fine. Like, you guys are all good with that, right? We're in an okay situation. On my way here, there was there's nothing worse on Fairfax County Parkway or a busy road when you hear the ambulance sound.
Yeah,
fire truck
my
ambulance.
God.
Because you go,
I try to speed up, and then I'm just like,
where is it coming from?
This is my position now. I have to fight for this position.
So I was at the front of the line at the light, and I was in the right lane on Fairco, and I'm at the light. It's a red light, and I hear the sirens, and I'm looking around, and I see in my rearview mirror, it's coming up the side.
Okay,
it's coming up the side.
You got to pull over.
So the problem is it's me. On my right is just barrier. It's like there's not. I'm not at the median yet. It's at the crossroads of like where Stratton Woods is or something like Ox Road or whatever.
No, I
so
got
like
you,
I'm out there. So there's just like a high median on my right, and then there's cars to my left. And for some reason, I'm the only one reacting to this ambulance. I don't know how the ambulance is moving through these cars. It's somehow finding a space, but it reaches. So I think for a little bit, I go, it's got room. It's passing everybody else. It's got room. Then I notice, no. The giant median to my right is blocking it. I'm going to have to move. So
You
what
run
I
the
had
red
to
light,
do,
yeah.
no, I didn't. Oh, I didn't. What I did was I went completely horizontal across where all the
Bang.
other cars were to my left to get out of the way.
Bang.
No, but it worked out because then I backed back into my space before the light turned green. But I was
those
in a
people in the
panic.
ambulance are like, what is he doing? Why doesn't he just pull forward?
I thought about that. I was
He's
like,
doing a 6-point turn.
I was like, do you think the ambulance people are like, what the is this guy doing?
100%.
Because I literally, like, the cars are lined up here. My
When
car
there's
was
an ambulance
blocking.
behind you, you basically have, it's like the purge
Yeah.
for 3 seconds. Like, you have total control of your destiny.
Oh, there's no rules.
You can run the red
You can do
light.
whatever you want.
You can make the argument, I had to get out of the way. No one else is going to question it.
Yeah.
The ambulance is going to pull you over. You have complete, total Bruce Almighty powers.
It's
in that
wild to
moment.
see how people handle the situation, though, because some people just sit there and they're just like, I don't know what to do. And
They
others
freeze
are
up,
like,
yeah.
oh, I'll just go ahead and go on the side of the wall here and I'll get out of the way here. They kind of like ninja it. And then like there's people, because you can do there's two ways to handle that. You can either do the splitsies where this lane goes there, and we got lane up the middle. You can do the crossover where we're all going to the left and
Yeah.
letting the guy come up the right.
You can do the Bruce Almighty where you all split to
Yeah,
different sides.
I
Yeah.
like that idea. But for some reason, only I had to move. Only me.
I love watching what happens after the ambulance passes. So
'Cause then
like
we all, like,
everyone's
go back.
turned, and then
Yeah.
it's just like everyone's just like, if I pull in now, I
Yeah.
can scoot up a spot.
Oh yeah, because in rush hour, you're like,
Yeah.
well, any advantage you can
And
take.
like and get it once the ambulance passes you, technically
Yeah.
you're good to go again.
Yeah.
So like then it's like, well, isn't it illegal to like tail the ambulance through traffic? But it's like, hey, I need to
Not a
pull
bad-
back in.
Not
Yeah.
a bad idea. It's not a bad idea. So you are. We were talking about it a little bit before we got started. So big wedding day tomorrow, and it's not
Yeah.
you, or not tomorrow, Saturday. And it's
Yep,
not you.
I'm already on my second marriage,
And you're-
7 months
yeah,
in.
yeah, it's been a hell of a ride.
Yeah.
So is this the first wedding you guys have gone to since your wedding?
Yes.
And I know you've been to other weddings before.
Yeah,
but
this is the first one of.
Is it not an amazing relief to
Oh my
not have
God.
to do, and you're not the best man, right?
No.
So you don't have to do anything.
I get to
You get to
stand.
stand up there
I get to stand up there.
and sweat through your suit like I did at yours.
Yeah. Oh, actually, we don't even have suit jackets. It's just
What?
it's suspenders, shirts, bow ties,
That's
and
the
pants.
dream. Why didn't you do that for ours? I mean, I looked great.
I
mean,
thought
was
about
great.
it.
No,
I just didn't know if everyone could do the suspender
no,
look.
we were fine. It wasn't even. Remember, it wasn't even that hot on your wedding day.
Yeah, it
I was
wasn't.
just internally burning up because I'm overweight. But you got the wedding coming up. So what's the food situation for this thing?
I don't even know.
Because that's what I care about.
Well, that's the best part is Jake knows nothing. Like I knew enough. Jake literally knows nothing.
Really?
Yeah. So not like him, and not nothing against him. He's just not
Yeah.
like
It's
he does,
hard.
He
It's
doesn't know.
tough.
He doesn't know all the intricate details. So I was asking him all these questions, and Ashley's like losing her mind because she's like, "How does he not know?
It's
How
his
does-
wedding."
Nothing's on the invitation." Like about like no one mentioned rehearsal dinner until I texted. I was like, "Hey,
Yeah.
when's rehearsal and stuff?" He's like, "Oh yeah, it's this Friday."
This is bad coordination.
I was
There
like-
should be a group text going out.
Yeah, and like,
Facebook,
we just
you
had
had a
this,
Facebook group for yours. It was great. We
yeah,
were all on the Facebook
we have
group.
a group chat for just the bachelors, but
Yeah.
Jake's not in it, so like we're all relying on secondhand.
So everyone is on the group chat being like, "Hey, do you know what's going on tomorrow?" No. Do you? No.
And so I have no idea what the food is. I have no idea if what the hors d'oeuvres are. I know there's a cocktail hour. I know it's wine and beer.
Okay, solid.
And I know that I will literally just have to drop off the present.
Okay.
And then Ashley and I can just enjoy the wedding, which would
That's
be
great.
wild to actually sit there and
DJ?
eat.
DJ for the
I
wedding?
assume so.
Okay.
Again, I
Yeah.
like he's
Again,
like
you
he's
don't-
in the dark here.
But it's his wedding.
Yeah, I know, but he's in the dark.
Is
here.
he not in any of the conversations about the wedding?
I'm
Is he
sure
not?
he's in a few, but
Is
I
he
don't
not?
know.
I mean, like, I granted, like, and you and I both.
Becca's like running the whole show here.
Sure.
Which
And like,
actually did a majority of that, but I was like, at least
but
like,
you
hey,
knew what
include
was
me.
happening for your what? Like same with me. It's like I was like, hey, Abby, feel free to like run with it. But
Keep
like,
hitting
I
this
still,
thing.
I still knew what was happening somewhat.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
definitely.
Well, we'll see what happens.
Yeah, it's interesting. So it'll happen.
I'm
It'll
excited.
Be,
I'm
it'll
excited
be
to hear about
beautiful,
this.
but the coordination is god awful.
You know, they'll be able to pull it off. That's the thing. It's going to
Well,
be.
they had a website listed on their thing, and the website's not active, so there's nothing on there.
Nobody paid the GoDaddy
There's nothing
domain
on there.
or anything.
It
like
was
that.
active, but it was just not populated. So I was like, and then we got a text
That's
later. I was like, Jake,
incredible.
Jake, do you have a fucking registry? And I was, because we're gonna give him cash.
Yeah. But there's no registry.
There wasn't a registry on the invitation or anything. It was just like on Becca's like bridal shower invitation. There might have been one, but like there's nothing on the
So
website.
it's like a word of mouth.
There's nothing on the website, so it's just like a speakeasy. You need to know the password to get in.
Dang.
So I don't know, but they do have a registry. But we're just gonna do
I
straight
feel like-
cash, homie, and move on.
That's solid. I mean,
Yeah.
you and I both been married. Straight cash, nothing wrong with that. We used our cash
In
towards
fact,
our house payment.
Sometimes it's preferable.
It's and we used some of it for our honeymoon, which was great. Like we had some cash on hand for like when we went out to eat or something like that during the honeymoon. So it's not a bad thing to have. We will mention that next week is the quiz.
Yes.
The quiz show, episode 40. Abby's been working hard on the preparations.
We'll be doing...
She's given me a little bit of info, but not too much because she's got to run the show, and I can't know the answers ahead of time or anything like that. It will be a quiz.
Is she going to have a microphone? Is she going to like...
She's going to... Yeah, we'll set up the third mic here. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll move the table out. We'll do like when we bring guests on the show. So we'll set up the third mic. Ashley will be running the scoreboard.
Okay.
We might get a nice wide camera lens angle so it has everybody in it. We'll make it work, man. Next week is episode 40. That will be the quiz show. And then we'll be taking a week off because we'll be the best of. And that's also when I move. So it actually works out beautifully.
What's weird, I totally forgot that we're helping you move the weekend after that. I was about to pitch to you after we were done here being like, dude, how about after we hit 40, let's just take a week off.
Oh, yeah. And that's exactly what we're doing.
Okay.
Because it's the best of. So I won't be taking a week off because I got to like put together the best of. And the new intro. But you will. Yeah. You won't have to do anything.
Did you start on the new intro yet?
Working on it. Yep, working on it.
Another lightning strike?
Laptop's open. We're,
right, yeah.
I had to remember the password for a while. That
That's
took a long time to remember the password.
Yeah, definitely.
Because, it's tough to remember passwords.
You answer your security questions?
I have, if somebody ever takes my phone, I have so many passwords in my notes, but they'll never know what they're for because I don't actually indicate on my note what the password is for. It's just there. So it's just random collections of letters and numbers, and I know what it's for up here
in your system,
but they don't know. They're like, what is this? One of my passwords, I'm not gonna tell you for what, is Ryan Zimmerman sucks 2019. I don't know why. I don't even really hate the guy that much, but I just made that a password.
Oh, it's a pretty recent password though, right? For something you just signed up for this year.
Let's not give everybody the clues on what this could be.
Well, I'm just saying the fact that you make passwords like...
Oh, I make long things. One was Abigail something.
Yeah, but you put like the dates and stuff like that. It's very interesting. I have like a set.
What's so weird about that?
Because it's just like all those. Remember when you're first making your very first email and it's like, try your last name, something.
Yeah, Tiger's 11 is one of mine for
in your birth year, and it's like, oh yeah, Barker, whatever, and
yeah.
I don't know. It just seems funny.
Okay, sorry, I'm not going to do FZ9544 Z underscore.
Mine is, I have 3 different variations of my password.
Give me like an example, because you never know who's listening.
Okay, so Blue Frog. Blue Frog was my password.
Yeah.
So that's just like the basic one. So like at low security, if I'm making, I almost said a burner account, but like, when you register for something, or you have to like log in.
We should make a burner account for the podcast, and all of it does is talk to us.
That'll be funny.
And then we can get into a fight with the burner and do a radio fight, like how they do sometimes.
That'd be kind of cool. But yeah, so like Blue Frog would be like my ESPN account. Like nothing important is on there.
Yeah.
Don't care. It's easy to remember. And then like for ones that require like 8 letters, it'll be like Blue Frog with the B and F capitalized. And frog might have 2 G's.
Yeah.
And then it'll be a number.
Sure.
And then for like the super complicated 15 character one, I have like there was a blue frog. See, exclamation
So I don't understand why mine's so strange when you're basically doing the same thing.
No, but yours is different though.
Yeah. I'm using just names instead of
mine are all the same though. Yours are probably very different.
So they're very different.
Yeah.
There's like 3 or 4 variations.
I'm saying mine way's not maybe better. It's not because like if you've guessed one, you have a higher probability of guessing.
See, for mine, you have no idea where you're going with it. You're like these have nothing to do with each other. All right, well, let's get ready to start things here. So I want you to bring up the joke to start the show. Now, before you say this joke, again, and you've done this to me a couple times, and it's haha, very funny. Everybody gets a good laugh. But you don't let me answer the joke question and try to like figure out what the joke is. You tell me the punchline too early, and it's your little bit, and I know you enjoy it. But I'd like to actually give a shot here. Okay, so go ahead and give me the punchline. Or not the punchline. Give me the joke. Yeah, give me the punchline. I'll tell you the joke.
What did the hat say to the rack?
Like, nice to see you up here or something?
You stay here. I'll go on ahead.
Okay. That's pretty good.
Hat
I wouldn't
and
have guessed that.
Yeah.
I don't know why I'm trying to guess. There's no way I'm going to get it. Hat and head. Got it. Let's start the show.
Wait, hold on.
Okay. You got another one? Okay.
This one just looks funny. Two whales walk into a bar. One of them is like, that's a whale call. And the other one is like, man, Steve, go home. You are drunk.
That's funny. Let's do it.
Wait, that's not a funny joke, though.
I think it's hilarious, especially the noise that you made. It's pretty funny. I've made that noise plenty of times when being drunk.
Maybe that's better.
Nothing better than that recorded video when I was drunk that last time with all you guys.
That was the best.
I had to delete it off my phone
Why
for
did
room.
you delete it?
Because these iPhones have no room in it. We got to start
This one is, why did Cleopatra fall off the swing? Because she's dead. That's more like one of those sad jokes.
Yeah.
Those anti-jokes I used to love.
Rest in peace, everyone. Cleopatra.
Yeah.
R.I.P. Pour one out. Here we go.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Yet I've flown from one side of this galaxy to the other. I've seen a lot of strange stuff.
Arise, riders of Theoden! Spears shall be shaken! Shields shall be splintered! A sword day! A red day! And the sun rises!
Broadcasting from the porch or the basement or whatever realm hasn't banished them yet. It's the Random Word Podcast with your hosts, Ben and Salty Dalton.
I'm trapped.
I'm already dead.
I'm alone. It's dark and I'm probably dead.
Like Cleopatra.
I hear footsteps. Ben, please, no! Welcome
What if
into
you
the
did
random...
cut that and then sent it to the local police?
It might work. I mean...
Good.
Welcome into the Random Word Podcast, episode 39, one away from 40. That's two less than 41. Thank you, everyone. It's been quite a production here. Terrence, thank you again for showing up. Hey, no problem, man. I love it here. I love you guys. No, we love you, Terrence. No, I love you. No, I love you. I love you guys. Somebody get him out of here.
Yeah, please leave.
Anyway, welcome into the Random Word Podcast.
What if I just left the applause going the whole show?
Maybe more realistic, like a studio audience. Oh,
yeah, they died quick.
Someone just bombed. With your hosts, Ben and Salty Dalton, behind the microphones here, bringing you another edition of some inventions, some banter, some really bad jokes.
Yeah.
We give you kind of social commentary on life here. And
what
I'm
we're here to
running
do.
out of. I'm running out of script here, Ben.
No
so
problem.
I'm gonna lob it your way for you to spike it in there, sport ball style.
Here I go, and then I fall on my face and break my glasses. It's a Random Word Podcast, episode number 40. As Salty Dalton said, again, you can find us on Instagram at the Random Word
number
Podcast. 39, episode 39. That's what I said. And then you can so find us on Instagram. You can also email us at you go to the Random Word blog at gmail.com is the way to get in touch with us. I'm just going to give a quick check to see, man, these emails are really pouring in. I've even had to delete some to leave more room in the inbox because they're coming in so much. Yeah, that's an interesting one. Man, you really got to get your emails in now. The randomwordblog at gmail.com for next week because, well, you're going to run out of time. But again, next week, episode 40, quiz show. Won't be a normal show. We'll be doing the quiz. Salty Dalton and
The wives will be involved.
Yes, both.
It's
both
like
wives.
a wife's cast.
It is kind of. That's going to be their contribution. It's going to be.
Yeah.
There's going to be a point system. It's going to be a whole thing. We'll talk about it next week on the show.
So is it like you versus me?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
It'll be you versus me, but kind of like a collective effort as well, though. To see like.
I think it is more collective. Yeah.
Because I was describing to someone the other day that once I edit the show and put it up.
All memory of it flies out.
Now, I usually will listen to it the next day just because I like to hear how it sounds and go back and listen.
I will. I've only listened once, except for that time I went through to get all the timestamps.
So, but then like a couple days later, boom, it's all gone. the word everything leaves my brain. So this will be interesting to test our memory. Now, I feel like you have a better chance than me because you actually are the one that writes it down and
Yeah, you
looks
get
it up.
that memory type. Yeah. So I think
We'll see.
I might have the advantage on some,
I don't know. We'll
but
see how
I
it plays
have
out.
forgotten a lot of them.
Yeah, because I also can remember weird stuff.
Well,
so-
because it was easier because I remember some of the words in the beginning.
Yeah.
Because we actually talked about the word.
we did. I
Now
wonder
we kind of just go, here's the word, bye.
I wonder what we'll kind of talk about the word this time. We'll see what you have in store. I didn't actually spoil this for myself, so I literally have no idea. Let's go ahead and get into it. The random word.
You feel that.
I feel it.
You feel that.
Oh my god, I feel it.
What a long day. Motley.
Motley.
Motley. Motley.
Like
Motley.
Motley Crue.
Like Motley Crue, and you'll find out why they're called that.
Oh.
Here, in the definition, it is an adjective. That's adjectivo in Spanish.
Yeah. Oh, thanks for that pronunciation.
It has two meanings. One is variegated in color. So
No idea what that means.
Basically, it's
I'm going to need a definition for the definition.
so it's a collection of colors, different colors.
Okay.
And then also the one that we're familiar with is made up of many different people or things. So you could use like that's a real motley crew you have there, and not just the band, but it's just a group of like people that probably wouldn't normally be together.
Oh, so it's different. So part of the definition
Well,
is
they're made up of different people and things. So
different people. Like with our group, you have
like inside that fucking giant bag is a motley assortment of
it is
goods and
it's
items.
a lot of trash and like random stuff. Our little dorm crew was a motley crew because you had a gorilla,
yeah.
you had a homosexual, and then you had me and you. So that was really it. It was an interesting group. We had you, the anime fan, big anime fan. And then you had me, the cool, funny sports guy.
Yeah, the cool guy with always cracking a joke.
Yeah.
Could do no wrong.
Exactly. That's
Yeah, you were the
exactly-
life of the dorm.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, in some circumstances, I was. And then we had a gorilla and a homosexual. So I don't actually. I don't know why I'm using that word. I don't actually just say, yeah, you're a homosexual. We had a motley crew.
It's just so formal.
Yeah.
We did have motley crew. It's
At your work now, so you've been there a while now. We've talked a little bit. We dove into a little bit. Remember with your old office, you had that guy that was your best friend that you were like, man, I really want to do a podcast with him.
Yeah.
I forget his name, Brendan.
Yeah, we started it already.
It was like Dweeb. Dweeb was his name.
It was
I think.
Dweeb, yeah.
that was his name.
It was Dweeb Johnson. Yeah.
So at your work now, would you say because at my office, I've got kind of a motley crew. We were there Porch Beer Friday a couple weeks ago. Would you say at your office you've assembled a motley crew yet now that you've been there a little while? Or are you still kind of...
No, I mean, our team is different, but like, I guess we're a lot more, I guess... So there's a few of us that are like, we're not like a motley crew because we're not like super different, but our teams are pretty uniform because like you have to be a certain amount of professionalism.
Yeah.
But the three of us, so my team lead, myself, and this contracting guy, we're probably like a motley crew because we're like very different looking, and one of them is 6'8", like 280 pounds.
Jesus.
Yeah. Dude's gigantic, yeah.
God, that's a mountain man.
Yeah, so I think just based on like
him in your crew is a good thing to have.
Oh yeah, because it's like, yeah, you want to start a fight. It's like, you may be bigger than me, but are you bigger than me in all my friends?
You need to have somebody like that in your crew.
I think that's just like that too, because like specifically, so like he didn't play any football or basketball. He played baseball.
Okay,
played a little bit of college ball, I think, but like. Other than that, he didn't like play the traditional big guy sports.
Let me guess, he played first base with that size.
I think he was a DH.
Yeah, there you go.
And like so, but he didn't like, because like whenever you see someone like who's tall, you're obligated to be like, you play basketball? Yeah. So like he didn't
Is he black?
No, he didn't do any of that stuff, and it was just like. He's just like, yeah, people always ask me, like, what position you play in football? Would you do this and this? He's like, I don't play sports besides baseball. I don't really care about them.
He should respond like, I don't know. I never played sports. I was really into art. And then just kind of he should show him a little picture that he made.
I feel like there's plenty of guys like that who don't have any kind of, like, athletic intention. who get rolled into a group.
But that's the thing.
Because of how they are.
Like, wouldn't you
Because
kill to be
need-
6'8", though?
You need the token tall guy.
You have to have the tall guy.
And they're so rare that if you have the token tall guy, your motley crew is elevated.
It's set because, again, you'll never get into a street fight with another group because you've got that guy. He can literally pick everyone up and throw them just across the other side of the street.
No one's going to challenge you to pick up basketball.
Yeah, that's true.
Because they're like, that guy probably played
he
college
can be
ball.
terrible at basketball and never get challenged because they'll be like, that guy's got to be good at basketball.
Secret weapon.
Yeah. That's the thing is, like, he will always look like that.
Yeah.
Man, that's got to be a wild life, 6'8".
Yeah.
Because, I mean, everything is inconvenient for you for the most part. Now, some things are great because you can reach, like, tall things on the shelf and stuff like that. But most of the world is built for average-sized people.
His shirts could probably go down past my knees.
Like, how does he sit at a baseball game? He likes baseball. Those seats aren't built for a 6'8", 280-pound guy.
The funniest part is, so when we went to Fort Worth, and I don't know if I told you about this, but did I tell you about our rental car situation?
No.
So Texas doesn't do anything like, I guess, mediocre. Like,
Sure.
so none of their, so as a government, as a federal employee, I can only request a compact, run-of-the-mill average rental car.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I can't, unless I
Same thing as, like, not being able to accept, like, big gifts and stuff
yeah,
like that.
nothing over $20, stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's just like one of those things where it's just like you have to get the bare minimum.
Sure.
And so when we got there, we showed up and we're like, hey, we're here to get our car. She's like, yeah, we don't carry that kind of car. So what they did was they gave us this giant Super Duty, like, V8, like, diesel truck.
Oh.
Oh, maybe it wasn't diesel, but it was like
Sure.
it was this powerful, huge truck. And we were like, hell
Badass.
yeah, I'm on board. They gave the man who was 6'8", like 280 pounds, they gave him a tiny but super powerful, like, supercharged sport Dodge Charger.
Oh.
So
Okay.
it's a great car. We
Yeah.
all took turns driving it. But him in the front seat,
That's not
was
gonna
like the
work.
seat was like 3 feet away from the wheel, and he was still cramped. And I'm like,
Poor guy.
as the front desk,
How do you
is-
handle the flight?
Oh, dude, he was just slamming.
have to have
he
an
was,
aisle.
He was
You can't not
he
have
was
an
slamming down vodka before to get through it.
Man.
Dude, it's insane. We'll talk
Yeah.
off of this about his, like, when you're that
About what?
when you're that size.
Oh, I thought you were going to talk
the
about his
amount
dong.
that you can drink, it's like proportional.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
It would kill any other living man.
No, that's true.
But as a rental car person, if you're looking at someone that is clearly, like, gigantic,
you got to...
why are you being like, here is our smallest car
Yeah,
available?
would you like a Scion? Would you like a Mini Cooper?
Would you like a smart car? Can
Smart
you fit
cars.
in a smart car?
Have you ever been in a smart car? I've never been.
I've seen the inside of one. I've never actually ridden as a passenger.
That's got to be a wild experience.
Yeah, I think it's
'Cause
gotta
there's
be
just
strange.
nothing there. It's just literally seat and then
Apparently, if
seat.
you go too fast, the front can start to pick up because it's so light.
Really?
Yeah,
that would be kind of.
It's
a
not
fun
heavy, so
experiment.
it's just like
Because can't they not really? They definitely have a top out speed on those little tiny cars.
I
right?
would be honestly shocked if it could get to 100.
I wonder what the
think it can
maintenance
get
is
to
on
like
that sort of
80.
thing.
Oh,
Yeah.
dude, they probably run for a long time. They get like a stupid amount to the gallon. Man.
Yeah, I wonder what the price is on.
It's
that,
probably
too.
like a 2-cylinder engine.
God. Wow. Well, let's
No,
get,
it's
let's
probably
get
like
let's
4.
get matching smart cars.
We should.
If we get like rich one day, let's get matching smart cars, and
Yeah.
then we can have the Random Word Podcast logo on the side.
Sweet, and we can drive them around
And then it could be like Transformers, where your smart car can attach to my smart car
and form one
and make
regular
one
size car.
size car.
That'd be amazing.
And the middle can come off, and like it will work. It will work.
Yeah, it'd be like Power Rangers.
We'll figure that's a good invention. Let's go on to our. Well, so that was the word Motley. Motley. Mark it in your brains because it will be on the quiz, as they say in the education field. That will be on the test. Let's thank some sponsors here, Salty Dalton, because they do so much amazing work for us. If you think about it, I mean, the reason why we're going to be able to afford a smart car is
It's
because
because
of
of
these guys.
sponsors. It's the
Yeah.
money that they give us that lets us do the things.
It's so
we
ridiculous.
love.
They give us so much money that sometimes I use the money and like you're always like, oh, you're burning money or something like that. And
I've
they say
literally-
like toilet paper. I've used it as toilet paper.
I've literally,
before.
the sponsors kept giving us so much money.
Yeah.
I lit the money on fire in front of them saying, I literally won't take this. I have too much. And they're like, it's fine. Just keep it.
I ate a $50 bill.
That's amazing.
I ate it, and then it did not go well. in my
That probably
stomach.
didn't pass well, yeah.
First sponsor here, Salty Dalton. Here's a people that really know their audience, especially for this show, and that is Cold Feet.
Yeah.
This is an ice pack insert for your shoes. So here's the thing. I get hot feet, sweaty feet.
Yeah.
It's hot out right
Don't
now.
tell me after a long day of work, you go back to the house, you kick off your feet, you kick off your feet, you take off your feet, you throw them by the door, your wife screams, there's blood everywhere.
You know the phrase I've always wanted to say? My dogs are barking.
My dogs are barking, and guess what? Your dogs are sweaty.
Yeah.
You've locked your foot into a prison.
Yeah, a prison of which you can escape with cold feet. You can put them on your feet and your shoes, and it'll keep it cold. It's like you're walking on air and ice. It's cold feet. Don't mention them at weddings. Is probably a good thing. Like, you can wear them at weddings, but don't be like,
He's got cold feet.
he's got cold feet.
Because like he might be dancing really well, and
Yeah,
then,
they're
or
like, he's
something.
got cold feet, and then like the wife is gonna freak out. She's like, what do you mean he has cold feet? Is he not gonna marry? That's gonna be a situation like
No,
Friends.
it's hot outside, so
Chandler
he's got cold feet.
Chandler was freaking out. He disappeared right
Yeah.
before the wedding a little bit. We're rewatching Friends too,
Yeah.
and like it's a whole thing. So
Oh,
cold
you know
feet.
what? You know what we just started? Dexter.
Oh yeah, Dexter's great.
Yeah.
Dexter's wild.
The only thing I didn't like was the ending.
Of the whole series, yeah,
I thought the ending
Yeah, it
was
sucked.
absolute horse.
the pillow. Yeah, you don't want to spoil anything.
But we're on so because
Dexter had some great moments.
I
That
watched
show's
it
really
forever ago. So we just started. We're like 3 episodes in,
Yeah.
and so I'm remembering all this stuff again.
Yeah.
And
I gotta rewatch
asking
it
me
too.
questions. I'm like, I don't
Oh,
want
has
to
she
spoil
not
it for
seen
you.
it?
No, this
Oh,
is so. This
okay.
is our new show that we started.
That's
so because
awesome.
we watched all of Grey's Anatomy.
Yeah.
We redid The Office again,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
that series was so good. The
Oh, yeah, of
ending
course.
too. It gave everyone the perfect ending.
Yeah, no, it's great. No, of course.
I was like tearing up at the
we're
end.
like redoing Friends a little bit.
We're doing that concurrently. So if we got nothing else going on,
Yeah.
we put the Friends on. We're like 7
New
seasons
season
in.
of Black Mirror's out. We'll probably watch that. Stuff like that. But yeah.
Anyway, in
that's
case the
cold
listeners
feet.
were wondering what we're up
Yeah,
to,
what we're doing.
that probably could have been better served
it's
some other place to have
totally
that conversation.
Totally fine.
Anyway,
who's our next sponsor?
So our next sponsor, coming from B Tech Industries, it's Be Gone.
Buzz.
Buzz, Be Gone, the wearable
Buzz,
self-deployable
buzz.
bee suit. Always be ready for bees. So this product was designed in mind for the beekeeper on the go. For those times you're at a family picnic, maybe you're allergic to bees, and what's that coming out of the trees? Little Jimmy missed the piñata and hit a beehive.
Oh.
Well, everyone's running in terror, right?
Yeah.
And right here, on your hip belt here, you pull the cord.
It's like
and
Iron Man, where he just
yeah.
presses the button, just the whole suit comes out.
You pull the cord, and your body is covered in a deployable bee suit, leaving you safe from stings, from any sort of contact with bees. Yeah, it was kind of interesting. We're really not known for a lot of bee products here on the show, but they're trying to get the word out and in a hurry. So Be Gone, the wearable self-deployable bee suit, available today.
What do the listeners get, Salty Dalton?
So
if they start pursuing this item,
if you go to buzzbegone.net and you search and you find your perfect bee suit today, if you type in our promo code, the random bee, you will actually get 10% off your entire purchase. And these things aren't cheap, so 10% is a pretty good savings.
That's awesome. That's like,
it will pay for itself when you're confronted with a horde of bees.
Man, Be Gone.
Yep.
I mean, I on a daily basis almost think to myself, man, I'd love a deployable bee suit right now, because bees are just everywhere.
Think about how many times you've run into a bee and not have you. Everyone gets a little scared.
And it's that thing with the bee where it's like where you're in the hallway with the other person, you're like, oh, you go that way, and
with the bee,
like,
it's a wild card.
Like, oh,
You're just like, yeah. Are you a flower? Are you a flower? And they come up to you, and granted, like, bees probably you don't have to worry about, but like, what about wasps and hornets?
Oh, those are like a whole nother level.
You see a yellow jacket?
Dude, yellow jacket.
Walk around.
No, yellow jackets and wasps are terrifying.
I got stuck in a car with a wasp one time. So I was driving from our high school down Wheelie, and I just remember seeing this like thing start flying around in here. I was like, oh, what the? And I was like, oh, it's a wasp.
Dude, that's terrifying.
Yeah.
Because there's nothing you can do. You're driving. You
my
can't
heart's
just like...
beating out of my chest. Yeah. I'm still just trying to stay calm because I'm not trying to aggravate it, but wasps...
If that thing stings you, you're dead.
But the thing about wasps is that they're just like, f*** you to f*** you.
Yeah.
They're like, hey, buddy, you looking at me weird? You know what? I'm coming to f*** you up. Yeah. I'm going to fly over there right now.
Because with bees, right, if they sting you, they die, right?
Yeah. They die.
But wasps, they can like sting you as many times as they want.
It's a couple times, yeah. So
or a few times.
So it flies.
I'm not a scientist. So
I'm standing there and I'm like freaking out. I'm trying to stay super still. I'm driving. And
Maybe it won't see me.
it fly like a T-Rex if I stay really
Yeah, the
still.
wasp is like, I see you. You're driving the car. What are you? Yeah, I'm just
and
waiting.
so it flies down by the gas pedals, right? And then it
Oh,
lands.
that's
on,
a dangerous
It
game.
lands on my leg, and so
I can't brake. I've got no brakes.
And so I've got my foot on the accelerator, but like I have to stop at this light coming up. So I have to like try to move my foot over.
Without, like-
I guess I moved it too aggressively, and the thing just starts stinging. So I just start screaming.
Because there's nothing you can do. You can't cause an accident.
So I cut across like a couple lanes of traffic
Oh
over
my
to the
God.
median. I get out of my car and like I slap my leg, and it stung me like probably 4 times at this point.
Jeez.
And I'm just screaming at the top of my lungs, being like, "Are you kidding?"
That thing almost killed you.
That was insane. Like it did that at the worst time.
Yeah. No, I just remember because when I remember getting. I might have told this story on the show, but I just remember when I got stung by a bee the first time because they don't know if you're allergic or not, so you could die.
That's just it. Like you're rolling the dice.
So I remember we were at a park when I got stung by a bee, and the ranger, like, it was almost as if like this was the moment he had been waiting for. Because like when you're a park ranger, let's be honest, it's a very boring job. There's not really now you get to be outside all day, which is great, but there's not a lot of action. But this guy was
You're
waiting.
not like arresting local wildlife.
Well, that's the thing. Yeah, you're like, hey dear, you gotta slow down.
On the ground now.
So that's the whole thing. Is like
You're like patting down the deer. You find like a bag of like marijuana on it. And it's like, I don't know where I got that.
Yeah,
That's
it's
not mine. That's
it's
not mine. That's not mine.
all the other deer have their phones out, like filming.
Yeah.
Like, oh, we're gonna catch
Police
you.
brutality.
Yeah, I'm just a ranger. But the guy. So this was the moment this guy had been training for.
Yeah,
because
right.
I was far down on the path, got stung by a bee. I was like a little kid.
This
I was
dude's
maybe
coming
like
up like
12.
Baywatch?
This guy literally, he's like, I can save you. He sprinted to like the med kit or something of that, and he sprints back. He's like a good in shape guy. Shirt was off in my mind. I don't think his shirt was actually off, but and he's like I'm here to save you. And then he gave me all the bee stuff. So it worked out. Is there oh, look at that. Man,
Look at this service.
we're treated way too well.
This is the best restaurant ever.
I think my assumption is this only happens when I'm here.
Yes.
When you're here, she's like,
100% correct.
Dalton, you have to make the food here.
Tell me.
This is fantastic. This is great.
Can't believe it's not delivery.
No, it's not.
It's not,
Wait,
dude.
you're telling me this?
I'm telling you right now that this pizza that's right here on this plate, despite how it looks, smells, and tastes, came right out of the oven. We bought that
You
sucker.
got to be f***ing with.
We bought that sucker weeks ago. It's been in my fucking freezer, dude.
No.
I will put my hand on a Bible, and I swear to God, Ben, look at me in the eyes. I swear to God, this is not delivery.
We're just in a courtroom.
Yeah.
And then like, do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but truth, so help you God? And it's like, yes, I do. And then he's like, big question for you here, sir. So I know
It's
we're
Mr.
going to get to
DiGiorno.
the. We're gonna
It's
get
Bob
to the,
DiGiorno.
We're going to get to the case in a moment. If it pleases the court, I have a very important question.
Yeah, continue.
Is this delivery, or is this DiGiorno? Would you say is this delivery, sir?
This is not delivery.
The whole like courtroom just gasps. The courtroom reporter like cracks the pen, like
Yeah.
it just breaks. It's just like, oh god.
The defendant just gets up, like charges the guy in the stand. They have to hold him back. Yeah.
No, this is DiGiorno, and I'm excited, but we can't get to it quite yet. It's got to cool down a little bit. So why don't we cool things down with? Oh, look at that!
That's a
That
familiar
theme song's
tone.
coming in.
Yeah.
Do you hear that? Oh, look, the kids—they're coming in. Hey guys!
Hey,
Jimmy,
kids!
Bobby. I don't know any other names. Timmy, you guys are all here.
Welcome in to another edition of Salty Dalton's incredible
Do your
brain
parents know that
explosion
you're
learning
here?
experience.
Did you tell your parents you were going to be here? Because like, we can't like have you here if they don't know.
Who's this kid, Ben?
Oh God! Oh man, that's one of those mean kids. Ones that used to bully me. He's a very big kid. Very big kid.
Anyway, welcome into another installment of Salty Dalton's incredible brain explosion, full body learning
I'm ready.
experience.
I'm ready for some explosions.
Here to get you learnt, here to enhance your mind's capabilities, allow you to walk away with a little bit of trivia.
I mean, it exploded my brain when you told me this wasn't delivery and it's DiGiorno. I still don't believe you.
Dude, I swear to God, I swear. And you can check the camera upstairs.
I mean, I look at this thing.
No one came to the door.
I look at this thing and I think immediately delivery. It's got to be. It's got to be. I mean, technically, it was delivered to us.
It was. Oh, I would love to see, like, there are days I think about, like, you ever sit back and think, like, you know how, like, we come up with these, like, funny inventions and stuff like that.
Well, I'm not quite sure what you mean. You mean super serious inventions?
Yeah, but like I think about how easy it would be to market, like be in the marketing business.
Oh yeah.
But like, I think for some reason I would laugh so hard if DiGiorno literally,
Oh yeah.
like that was their
Ran
thing.
a
Is like
campaign?
it would be just people like hanging out, and then like someone would bring out pizza, like pieces of pizza to people, and be like, "Oh, this is great. Where'd you order this from?" And they're like, "What do you mean, dude? I popped it right out of the freezer into the oven here." And he's like, "What are you talking about?" And he's like, "Yeah, dude, it's not delivery."
He
And
just
then
pulls a gun from his waistband. No. You're gonna be straight up with me.
like they like waterboard him, or
Feels way too serious,
everyone in
yeah.
the room just freaks out at the fact that it's not delivery.
Yeah, people are losing their minds. Their heads like literally explode in the commercials.
Yeah, I think it'd be like you could do a huge
a lot of
commercial
special
series.
effects.
Yeah,
it would work.
I think it'd work.
So
Anyway,
what do you got for us on episode 39?
So a while back we talked about undertakers, right? You know, the people who would
The wrestler.
and people who would dig up resurrection of men. Remember?
yeah.
They dig up, people's coffins. The coffins are booby trapped and stuff like that. Today we're going to take this in the other direction of that. So
People that birth people?
no,
Okay.
no, maybe it should have been more specific. We're here to
We're talking about pregnancies on the show here.
We're
The miracle of childbirth.
we're going to play it for you, auditory ASMR.
That was my baby impression.
Yeah, it's not crying before it comes
Dude, isn't
out.
that wild that they have to like cut? There's a cord that is connecting the
Yeah.
child with the mom,
Yeah.
and they have to be like, no more, and they take an axe.
I mean, it's basically a human USB charger.
it's wild. Like, do you think anybody ever just swings it around a little bit a few times, like
with
a
the
lasso?
baby still attached.
Yeah. I mean, not to like hurt the baby, but just a little bit like.
Okay, I don't understand how making it a cowboy lasso trick wouldn't hurt the baby, but there's
Yeah.
someone out there who's been like.
Yeah. Do you mind if we just do a couple spins?
But also, like, when you cut it, like, you're cutting through like flesh. Though.
Ugh.
Like, what if you're just like,
So nasty. And then people are like, "Do you want to keep it?" It's like, no, the baby, yes. That I don't.
what am I gonna do with this? Some people.
You could frame it and put it
There
on
was
the
some
wall.
kind of tradition where people kept the umbilical cord and then crushed it up and like
Snorted it.
made some sort of like
Oh,
drink out of it in like a culture or something later
my-
on as like a coming.
I
of
know
age
sometimes
ceremony.
they keep the jar of the placenta.
That's a great word.
Might
to
have been
say
just
on
my
this show.
mom. No, just kidding.
Placenta.
No.
Anyway,
Anyways, what are we talking about?
So
Nothing to do with what we're talking about.
so we're talking today about safety coffins. Now, I bet you're asking yourself this question: what is a safety coffin?
Yeah, it's-
because a coffin
Seems pretty
contains a
safe.
dead person,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm glad you asked. So this is really this. A lot of the data we have comes from the 18th and 19th centuries. So cholera epidemics were basically during that time where cholera was like a really big thing.
This is the latest craze. Yeah.
Yeah, this was the peaking moment for the fear of being buried alive. And that's because there were actually accounts of people being buried alive and some fictional stories coming out, like Edgar Allan Poe
Oh, okay.
wrote this like a short story or something about the perspective of somebody who is being buried alive, which I was like, okay. But that like fueled the fires. Yeah, don't do it again. Yeah, there you go. You learned how to sip a beer normally.
Okay. Well, you're sitting in
Mine
that
looks
foam.
like I just washed the dishes. It looks like dish soap.
That's terrifying. Buried alive is terrifying.
Yeah, so people are freaking out. So basically, due to the lack of prowess and the knowledge we have from a medical standpoint, it made it very hard to distinguish whether or not they were in a coma, they were paralyzed,
Oh, that's true.
or they were actually dead.
Yeah.
So there were some instances of people actually being buried alive, and they only found that out by you open the coffin. There's like nail marks on the inside, stuff like that. Yeah,
God.
because there's a finite amount of oxygen.
Yeah.
So either way, they.
I mean,
ended up
luckily the
dying.
coffin still works
When they
in both
opened
scenarios.
it, no one was ever recovered. When they opened it, they were like, "Oh man." And I'm not. I guess
Yeah.
when they were exhuming a body or something.
Yeah, they weren't like, that was a hell of a nap.
So this fear, they say that what was it about innovation?
Is tradition?
George Mason University. GMU what? Basically, but this fear led to innovation, led to inventions, and one of them was there's a bunch of safety devices installed inside of coffins.
Really?
Basically, the opposite of the resurrection men,
Sure.
where you would arm your coffin with the torpedo to open, when someone pulls on thing. But this was basically safety devices for people that may accidentally be buried alive.
Oh, okay.
So
little like latches or something?
Yeah, so there were different things. A common one was basically bells. So bells, tied to cords around the bodies, like the legs and stuff, would be tied to a string, which is tied to a bell.
So
above
like dinner
ground.
service.
Yeah. And they had escape hatches, feeding tubes, ladders built in to the coffin so you could climb your way out. But the bell system didn't work too well because bodies decompose, right?
Sure.
And so they'll move because
Yeah.
air's leaving the body, among other things. So it
So a
would
lot
lead
of
to
bells
It
ringing.
would lead to some false alarms,
Literally, false alarms.
But so they built in all this stuff, and I'm just thinking, like, that's if there were zombies, like a zombie wakes up in a coffin 8 feet under, and he's like, oh, there's a feeding tube, and there's a ladder right here that leads to the top.
It's
Let
like
me
a
just get right
easy
out.
built-in system for zombies.
Yeah.
Which they must not have considered in that.
Well, ironically, almost all of these designs for these safety devices did not include air tubes.
Ooh.
So even though they had a bell, an escape hatch, and a way to get food, they would still die because of oxygen.
Jeez. Poor
so-
guys. I mean, that would be... So in that circumstance, it's almost like... I mean, if they did add an oxygen tube, though, I mean, that's like a really good nap. You're underground, so you're, there's not a lot of noise. You've got a feeding tube, like a hamster or a gerbil. And then if you're ready to get out, you can just ring the bell. Somebody will come get you. It's not a bad situation, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean,
it's not ideal.
It's not ideal, but...
You'd rather nap in your own bed, of course.
Right, then 6 feet underground.
But, it's dark down there, which is nice.
And this is all based on, like...
just drawings.
This doesn't, like, it's not a frequent thing. So, like, there were just a few stories of this happening to people, right? There's no, like, people who actually came out and were like, I was buried alive once.
They're like, shut up.
One man, Dr. Adolf Gutsmuth.
Oh, okay. Ooh.
Yeah, Dr. Adolf Hitler.
That's a rough first name there.
Adolf Hitler's great-granddad.
No.
He was so confident.
Made all the other Adolfs look bad.
He was so confident in his safety coffin design. He was buried underground for hours and ate a full meal delivered by feeding tube.
That's what I'm telling you.
People were pushing dessert, beer, and all this stuff down here. He hung out in a coffin underground for hours eating.
Sounds great.
And then came out and was like, you see? This is how it works. But also, like...
Yeah, this is the dream.
What about bathrooms? Right? Because he had to be dug up. So
you designate a corner.
A corner in the coffin.
Okay. You designate a side, really. You
Okay,
turn
so
your
you just
side.
turn to the side.
Yeah.
Okay. Fair enough. Asked and answered, I guess.
You should have there should have had a bathroom tube as well. And and the tube for the bathroom goes
in the shoe.
underground.
Yeah, they would have pee in the knee or whatever.
Hey, we don't joke about that.
So there's no official record of safety coffins actually working, meaning that people actually used them and survived, because no one was getting buried alive, turns out. Not as many people as you would think. And modern day embalming eliminated the need for these coffins entirely, because no living human being would survive the embalming process, because that's where they take you, cut you open, take out your organs. If you were sleeping at one point, you'd wake up and be like, no.
Yeah, you're just like, oh man, wait, is that my kidney? Oh, jeez, I must have been out for a while, sir.
Why does he sound like...
Yeah.
One day when you want the moon, Mary, throw a lasso around the moon.
But that doctor did the experiment. They're like, look,
he did the experiment. He
Addy,
proved,
yeah. That's what that was. He was called
Addy,
by his
Adolf,
friends.
yeah,
Addy.
Addy.
Look, we love the idea. Practical in some way. Now, I don't really see a lot of purchases for this, but
Jim, I get it. You think this idea is garbage?
no, yeah,
Jim, look me in the eyes. I'm going to prove to you right now.
Oh, you don't have to do that.
I've already started. I'm going to be buried underground, and I'm going to show to you that this coffin works, because this is not another one of those investment opportunities where I take your money and the business fails. This is the real deal. I am a showman, and I'm here to show you that it works.
And so you're going to go down there. Excuse me. You're going to be buried in the.
I'm going to be buried alive.
Okay.
There will be a feeding tube and a bell, and when I am finished,
How easy would you
eating-
say it is to detach the feeding tube and the bell, like from above? Do you think?
It's pretty hard. It leads all the way into the coffin.
But
you
if
know?
I like covered it up,
if you covered it up, there would
not
be
that I
no-
would do that. I would never do
Right,
that to you,
but again,
Addie.
is the point? Are you trying to kill me?
How's your wife doing, Addie?
Oh, she's great. She's great. She talks
Yeah.
about you all the time.
Oh yeah, that's just go down there. Go ahead and go down. We'll see what happens. And we'll test it out. So so you're right. The embalming process kind of eliminated.
Yeah, because you're cutting open the body, so
Yeah, you kind of know.
even if they were alive, guess what? They'd be dead by the time you buried them. So there was just it was this big panic brought on by the cholera outbreaks and these stories and whether some of them were true, some of them were fictional. But people were so scared of being buried alive because our medicine was so bad, we were unable to tell if someone was really
true.
dead, maybe.
It was all guesswork back
That
then.
they would design these custom coffins that allowed the body to get out if it chose to, if it woke up.
Good prank to pull. Go to your local cemetery. Or make your own little wooden coffin. Go to your local cemetery. Dig a hole, like a relatively deep hole. Open the coffin up and put it near the hole.
Yeah.
And just kind of just go back and just wait and see what happens and just watch the reactions there.
Maybe put some footsteps around it.
Yeah, you got to put some footsteps. Maybe
Leave a bone out. Or
Yeah,
something.
you got to leave a couple bones out there. It's like there's a skeleton walking around here. It's weird. I noticed it. So the other day I was thinking about it, that how strange it was that we had that giant cemetery right by our high school.
Yes.
I think at the time
It's huge.
Well, it is. And at the time, I didn't really think much of it, I think, growing up.
Right across
But the
the
other
street,
day, I drove by and I was like, man, this is a little grim, right? Here's, and it's like across the street from a preschool, too, like the
Yes.
small preschool. So it's like
And a
new
church.
life and then old life. And it's like some weird symbolism just right there on
People
Drainsville
used
Road.
to walk around the cemetery at night. That was the thing. They were just like, hey,
Oh,
you
once?
want to just go walk around the cemetery?
Oh,
Yeah.
I never did that.
I was like, well, first of all, I was like, no.
Do you think is there a undertaker at that cemetery, like a guy that like sits watch or whatever? He watches over the bodies.
You know what? I'd probably venture a guess that probably there is.
We
Yeah.
should find out. Maybe we do film a segment there. I don't know.
Yeah, we could. We can
Figure it out.
So, to close this out, we go a long time not needing these safety coffins.
Yeah.
In 1995,
Oh no.
a modern safety coffin was patented by Fabrizio Caselli.
No, the owner of Febreze.
Fabrizio
Yeah.
Caselli.
Really smelling a good guy.
It consisted of emergency alarms, an intercom system, a flashlight, a heart monitor, and a heart stimulator. So you could have a heart attack, re-stimulate your heart, so you could go down alive,
Yeah.
die.
You wake up, you go, what the hell's going on? You have a heart attack because you're so scared.
You would die. Then you come back
Yeah.
to life, and then you just hit the intercom and be
Yeah.
like, "Excuse me, hello."
I'm
Does it
down
just
here.
co- does it just come out of the grave? Because
Yeah.
imagine how creepy that is.
Yeah, you're at your
Hello, anyone out there?
you're at your grandmother's tombstone. You're like, oh, granny, you had a hell of a run. Hell
I'm
of a
still
run.
alive.
And,
It
oh my
feels
God.
like I can hear your
What
voice.
the hell is that?
Yeah.
Comes on, just intercom. It's like a PA.
Sonny, is that you?
PA announcer. It's like, is that
Yeah.
the radio going? And the next score there, a two-handed slam. you could really f- with some people. I
And
feel
in
like.
this corner, 6 feet under the ground, your man, your hero, the man accidentally buried alive, come save me. Anyway, that closes out Salty Dalton's incredible brain explosion, full body learning experience. I hope you learned something today.
All right, kids, you can leave. You
Please
don't have
get
to-
out of my house.
you don't have to
Please
stay
get out of
here.
my house.
It's weird. This one's just won't stop staring at me. And
Ben, there hasn't been a kid in this house for years.
what? Oh wait, did the kid die in the
Yeah,
house
in
before
the
you moved in?
basement. Yeah.
And that's the show. All right, everybody, it is time for the segment that is sweeping the nation. It's Fishbowl.
I think a better way to introduce that segment should have been, everybody get your brooms out, because this segment is sweeping the nation.
That's not bad.
Yeah,
That's not
right?
bad.
You can do that for anything, too. Like,
This is
Get
a
your
segment that
brooms
may
out.
get us sued. It's Fishbowl.
get your brooms out, because this man just swept me off my feet. You can use it for anything.
Okay, well, I'll think about that for next
Get your brooms out, because
Yeah.
that flannel
Yeah.
is
I like this flannel. Yeah.
weird to wear in the summer.
I'm in an office where there's AC. I'm not like I don't work outside. It's like my way of like I mean I wear t-shirts to the office too, but it's my way of classing it up a little bit, you know, adding a little bit of style and flair. It's Fishbowl, the segment where we pitch our ideas, inventions, investment opportunities. Salty Dalton would be investing in a mop, maybe, I guess, with all the beer that he spilled. Just kidding. He didn't spill anything. I don't want to overhear that. She doesn't listen to the show, right? So
it's stained the
she
wall.
won't find out till like 5 weeks from now. There's got to be like wall cleaner, right?
We're going to paint this whole house here soon.
Oh, nice. Yeah, you're going to get rid of the yellow, huh?
Yeah. Oh, God, yeah. I hate this yellow.
Oh, really? You do? It looks good on camera, though. I like it, so let's keep it. Just this wall. At least this wall. Yo. All right, so it's Fishbowl, Salty Dalton. I went first last time, I believe. So
Okay.
I think it's your turn to set us off. You have 60 seconds on the clock. You have 3 investment fishes here. Let's hear what you got to say.
All right, fishes. What I'm about to give you is not a tangible product that you can break or lose. What I'm pitching to you is an app. It's called Sizable. It's the app that converts any length, weight, any kind of dimension into any unit in the world. Its database contains information on just about any object known to man. You can translate the size of that building into beer bottles. You can translate the size of that car, the weight of that car, into bananas. You could say that car is 3,200 bushels of bananas. It is the app that allows you to transform any form of measurement into anything of your choosing. It will liven up parties. It'll liven up construction sites. It will make you find your size. Sizable.
I think so. The original pitch, as far as like what you said earlier about just converting length and height and stuff like
It
that.
can do all that boring stuff, but
Yeah.
the more fun stuff is like, how
So
many
that's-
bananas is this?
So this is where the appeal for this project goes, is the fact that, like you said, you can convert, you know, a ladder, a house, a truck into, you know, apples or bananas or baseballs or pizzas. You could do pizzas like your average medium-sized pizza.
It's accurate to within 1 ounce.
I like this.
That technology, you don't see that now.
Because I think it's more of a conversation starter. Because just imagine, you know, you're on a first date. It's, you know, it's going okay, but conversation's starting to slow a little bit.
They see a dog walk by. Oh,
Yeah.
that's a big dog. How
Yeah.
big do you think that dog is? You can be like,
About 5 bananas.
yeah, okay, well, that's a tiny ass dog. You could be like,
How
that's
big is a banana? I'm talking about the big ones, the ones like they grow in the Amazon. What are those, plantains?
plantains are tiny,
Well,
but they come in a
Yeah.
giant.
Yeah,
Okay, I guess maybe.
Look, you got to
could
clarify
say-
before you talk to your
You
first
could say
date.
that's 3 bushels.
5 plantains.
That's 3 bushels of plantains. Or you could say that's 2 tire tractors
Ooh.
or tractor tires.
Tractor. I was about to say tire track. That's a ginormous dog.
Yeah.
Yeah. You could throw that out there, and then she'll be like, "Wow, I want to date you again." Like if you know stuff like that,
She'll ask you questions about anything.
so she thinks you know those off the top of your head, and you're not using an app, and you don't tell her that you're using an app, and you have to like get into this whole system where you're on the microphone with your friend, and he's looking it up quickly and telling it to
Also,
your ear.
think about it. It's an easy way to win bets. So what you have to do is you
Yeah.
look at that water fountain over there and be like, "Hey Jim, how many beer balls you think could get to the top of that thing?" And
Yeah.
he'll be like, I don't know.
I'll bet you. I'll bet you.
I'll be like, I bet you it's 32 and a half.
I'll bet you your family. I'll bet you your family.
I
If
bet
I
you your
win,
family,
I
your
get to be their new
livelihood,
dad.
yeah.
So you're gonna have to go and not be with a family anymore.
Yeah, and then when he goes and measures it out, and
Yeah.
it's 32 and a half exactly,
Yeah.
guess what? You just got a new
And
family.
you go, "Daddy's home," and then that's your catchphrase for your new
Daddy's
your
home.
new show. I like this a lot. I think it's entertaining. I think it's a conversation starter. It's a date starter. This is good. I'm gonna go ahead and give you 4.
Nice.
I think this was a solid one. I usually make fun of you on this show when it comes to your ideas. This is a solid one. So mine, coincidentally, is also an app, but it's a little different. So NBA Finals is going on right now, Salty Dalton. And
That's right.
The big promotion was, you know, a team wins a game on the road. Everyone gets a free taco from Taco Bell.
Steph Curry from
like-
downtown. That's a Chick-fil-A sandwich for everyone in the crowd.
You're cutting into my time, but you know it's like, and same thing in the World Series. Somebody steals a base, you get a taco. Steal
get
a
a taco,
taco.
yeah.
There's National Donut Day. There's National Pancake Day. here's what we've done, Salty Dalton. We have all of these promotional days where you have a free food item, free Slurpee, free ice cream, and we've condensed it down to our app called Freebird. And it is an app that tells you specifically when companies are doing free days and when it is happening. That way you can plan, and it syncs up with your calendar, and you get an automatic notification, a push notification to tell you tomorrow. It gives you a day warning. Hey, by the way, tomorrow's National Donut Day. Hey, tomorrow's National Slurpee Day. You get a free Slurpee, free everything, Freebird. Very popular among the homeless community that has phones. Freebird.
This doesn't exist already?
So I did some research on this. There are some sites that will tell you about discounts. There's nothing that tells you specifically the free, just free. We're just talking about free promotions.
That's a genius idea.
Yeah.
No, like 100%. That's a really good idea because, like, I mean, you could tailor it that way, and I'm sure you could do ones with discounts and stuff like that. But to do the no kidding,
I'm talking about just free
deals,
because they happen all the time. Free Pancake Day, free Slurpee Day, all that stuff.
Now, does it include the buy one get one free stuff?
No, it's just specifically companies that run the free, like, and some of these things crop up. Like, again, like I didn't know about the NBA doing the free taco if a visiting team wins on the road. I didn't know about that. The app knows about that. That's something that populates in the app, sends you the push notification. It gives you a day warning so you can plan your next day around that activity. Oh, I know. Oh, boom. Tomorrow's National Donut Day. I know I can go get a free donut. Boom. I'm there.
Okay. I think there's some stuff you could tweak in the actual app to include some other options, but that's probably the best idea you've ever had on the show.
Freebird. And it's kind of a catchy name because everyone knows the song Freebird. They play Freebird and all that stuff. And so it's kind of like, so the logo is kind of like a little bird, almost like the Twitter bird, and with like the money sign, and it says free, and I didn't design the logo yet, but it just, Freebird.
No, I mean, I don't have any jokes to make about that. I would love for that to happen. That'd be really great.
Yeah, I think it would be great. And like I said, the homeless community, because I was thinking about this the other day with Abby, is actually when I came up with it, because I was like, man, like, because I was watching the NBA game, and they announced that free taco thing, and I was like, God, homeless people, like, I wish there was somewhere where homeless people could find out about all these free days, because that they know they can go get free food and they don't need any money. So I was like, if there was an app for that. Now her question was, well, do homeless people have cell phones? And I was like, I've seen a few homeless people with cell phones.
Yeah.
So now the app isn't specific for homeless people. I'm just saying they could use it for their benefit, just like any of us. Free days. You know who would really love that? And I know he's listening to the show, is Mr. Mike Cerrone, because this man is a coupon legend. He's got every fast food restaurant's app on his phone. He scans it, gets the free promotions every single time.
It's like an extreme couponers for fast food.
He is with fast food restaurants.
Interesting.
So Freebird is the invention.
They're counting on people not willing to do the legwork to get that kind of coupon savings.
Exactly, because some people, it can be kind of a pain sometimes.
If you run into someone who actually doesn't mind actually committing to that, you could think about all the deals you get. Yeah,
that's the thing, because you would be surprised how many companies do free promotions throughout the year on their like anniversary or on National whatever day. It happens all throughout the year, all the time, and this is one way to keep it in your phone and in one place.
No, you know what? I might give that 5 stars.
Really? Are you?
Let's do it.
I'm going to give you a second. I'm going to give you a second to think about this.
Yeah, it's a great app idea, dude. I would take that idea in a second.
Any investors listening, feel free to contact me or steal my idea, I guess.
It's not like a revolutionary and it won't change the world, but that is an incredible thing. Because, you have to look hard to find those deals or rely on commercials or Facebook. You could just have that on your phone. Yeah. Yeah, that's cool. I like it.
All right. Well, that's my first 5-star idea. And we'll see when you get to that point. Because I guess what that kind of signifies is I'm smarter than you, I guess, is what that says.
No, you just had a good idea.
Yeah, okay.
Even a broken clock is right once,
Oh, wow. So I'm a broken clock. Yeah. Okay. All right. Moving on to Pilot House. Another chance for us to flex our creative muscles. And go ahead and grab that broom, because this is another segment that is sweeping the nation. So we're talking pilots here, and since you went first on Fishbowl, I'll go first here for Pilot House. I have 2 TV show ideas that I just like to let you know about a little bit.
Okay.
So I'll start with the not as good one. So this is actually one that I pitched to you a long time ago as possible segment on the show, but we were like, we don't know about the legality and things of that. But if it's a TV show, they can make it work. And that is just, it's a simple game of phone roulette. And the way it works is it's a game show where the contestants have to dial random numbers in the phone book. They have a phone book in front of them. They have to flip to a random page, pick a random name. They have to call that number, and if they answer, you get points for how long you can keep that person on the phone. Now, you can't do any threats. There's certain rules to the game, but you get points for every second that they're on the phone with you. And so you got to get real creative. You throw out things like, you ask like, your name, excuse me, we're looking for James. And then they're like, oh, I'm not James. I was like, oh, sorry, it's not James. I meant Jerry. And they're like, oh, there's no Jerry here. You're like, oh, no, you're right, my bad. So this is all ways to keep them on the phone as long as possible.
It's kept me on this podcast, yeah.
Yeah, so that's what happens. So it's a simple game show game. You have different contestants come in. Who gets a high score wins for that week, and it's just not overcomplicated.
I see. I like it. I like it better than. So are we talking? How about it's like yeah, I guess like it'd be hard to. I guess if it's a TV show, you'd have access to like a database of numbers.
Yeah, for sure.
Open to the world.
Yeah,
it'd be better if
all
it was
the listed
just
numbers.
If it was just people. So you can't call companies because they're obligated to like ask you questions.
Yeah, no, it's got to be straight up. It's got to be addresses, home addresses.
Random strangers, yeah, random strangers, cell phones, and then see if you can get a full. I like that a lot. It's like a stranger rodeo kind of, but with a phone.
And so that's a pretty solid deal. I like that. My other one is kind of in a similar vein. The show is called Small Talk, and it's another game show where you talk to little people. No, where you have to have a conversation with a stranger on the street in like a bookstore or like a mall, a grocery store, whatever it is. It's all wired. They've got cameras and things like that.
Yeah.
You have to pick out a stranger. You have to have a conversation with them. But that conversation, the small talk, has to include a few key words. So you're given a few key words that you have to work into that conversation naturally. The way you can lose is either not using all the key words before they or they just walk away. And they're like, I'm good, and they like leave.
Or they call you out on it.
Or they call you, or they're like, what's going on? Like that
what's
sort of
monkey,
thing.
What's a monkey wrench have to do with this? And you're like,
That's the thing. They have to be. You have to work those words in completely naturally, without the other person, like you said, calling you out on it or walking away or the conversation ending. So it's called Small Talk. So it's similar setup to like if you've seen Impractical Jokers, where you'd have a camera set up and you got random people in a grocery store and you have to pull this off. So it's another game show, and that's kind of how it works. You just strike up a conversation like I would have at the event I went to. It would have been like that, except
if they didn't hate you.
If they didn't hate me, but you have to work in those keywords. So it's like, okay, for an example would be like your 3 keywords are, it would be like banana peel, soda can, the Dodgers. And then it'd be like you have to work in those 3 things in a small talk conversation, a very limited window of small talk. And that would be how it would work. So
you have maybe what, like a 2-minute limit?
Yeah, you have to at least get...
You'd have to start some sort of timer.
Because we're talking small talk, so,
it's like,
just a very quick exchange.
Hot enough for you out here? Yeah, I mean, it is pretty hot. Dodger, soda can, banana peel.
yeah. Like, what the hell? Is this guy having a stroke? Like, what's happening? So, yeah, those are my 2 game shows. Were the 2 that I came up with.
I like them. I think they're quick and funny.
Yeah.
I think it's not
They're very simple. We're not talking about, big Jeopardy game here. We're talking about phone roulette and small talk.
Okay, so I had a few, not great. I don't know. Maybe there's potential here.
Okay.
First one is just a super quick, probably throwaway one. High velocity. You fire everyday items out of some sort of mega cannon.
Okay.
At things. And see what happens. So, maybe like...
So this is like in the Mythbusters realm, kind of.
You remember pumpkin chucking?
Yeah,
sure. It's kind of like that, but instead of pumpkins, people submit different items to the show.
Okay.
And they launch them at different things, different scenarios. Maybe one is like they launch it at, a house, or they do it inside of a house and see what happens. I don't know.
So the viewers, it's like the cathartic experience of like watching somebody else do something that like looks awesome, as far as like shooting this thing out of this.
Yeah, because it's like random stuff. It's kind of like when you're talking about stress tests, where you take an item and you hit it with hammers. You shoot it out of a cannon. Maybe you light it on fire. You blow it up. It's sort of like that, but you just get to see people shoot things with a cannon
I like that.
aren't cannonballs.
Okay. That's entertaining.
One's called Book Smart. You build and compete against other design teams to create a structure out of nothing but books.
Ooh.
And then you have to take those books, and so you
And read them.
and then those two structures that you build go under a stress test. So maybe it gets hit by different things. You see if it's structurally sound, if it can withstand an earthquake,
Okay.
or something like that. And then the winner gets
Almost
maybe,
like when you have to build a boat for like a frat event or something like that. Where,
Yeah.
And you have to
Out
you,
of cardboard-
You got
only
to build the
cardboard.
boat, but then you also got to sail the boat and come back in the pool and
building
stuff like
it is
that.
half the battle.
So book smart. So you can build the structure, but it's also got to withstand the stress tests. So that would be like a good. So like. The stress test game show we came up with and book smart, like those would be all good within like the same show. They're like different challenges within the same show.
That would work. Yeah,
almost like back in the day with Double Dare
I don't know
and stuff
if I'd
like
watch
that.
I could watch 30 minutes of someone destroying like household items, like testing them out, because like it'd be funny. Be like, is this blender rated to go at speeds of 700 miles an hour? Let's find out.
But that's the thing. You have two teams,
Yeah.
and you put them through these different tests, and if they win a challenge, they get like a golden coin, and then if they beat, it's like
They've
real
got a
life
couple
Mario
days.
Party.
They got a couple days to build it. Depends on how big the structure. It needs to be like a house size structure.
Oh yeah, of just of books,
Of just like books.
and they have very limited tools, or no tools at all, I guess. If
and
you
all
want.
the books are made with 100% recyclable paper.
Yeah, and they're all from my company.
Yeah.
So that's what they are. 'Cause-
I think that'd just be kind of interesting. Again, like I think all those three work in the same realm, like you're saying.
Could
Maybe
be part
like
of one show.
the same show or like overarching company does those. And the last one is called Avoid.
Okay.
So basically, it's sort of like a game show. You spin a wheel, right? And it's full of like
I love a good spinning wheel.
it's full of like everyday interactions or things that you will run into during a day, like average things that can be submitted by the crowd, stuff like that. And a camera crew follows you, and you have to make it through 8 hours a day, avoiding whatever gets pulled up on there. So for an example, human
Sure.
contact, so touching other people.
Ooh, okay.
So you have to go throughout your entire day without touching another human being. So if you're on the subway, you can't be jostled by anybody. You have to avoid them completely. If one was water, you have to just avoid water
And then you die.
for 8 hours.
Yeah.
So you might be thirsty. Maybe it's raining outside. That would be
True.
challenging.
That counts. It's under the umbrella.
So you go through a normal day avoiding things that
Okay.
you spin on the wheel.
I like that.
And
So
maybe
they have a
8 hours
camera
is
crew
too
that
long,
follows
yeah.
you and stuff like that. Yeah, no, I like that. Especially, I think, with the things like you mentioned, like human contact.
It has to be things that are like generic enough where it would be hard to not
Like,
interact with
like
those.
stairs.
Stairs. Yeah,
Like,
that would be
you
one.
have to avoid it. You have to go up
Longer
every
than 2
wheelchair
seconds.
ramp there is.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
you have
yeah.
to go find that, but you can't. So, like, you could like.
That would be interesting. You'd have to take an elevator, or you'd have to climb
Yeah, you'd have to climb.
up
That's
the
thing.
side of a building.
Okay, I think you can take that concept and, like you said, I think you can tweak it and have some of those things. And I think you got to shorten the time up a little bit.
Yeah, I think 8 hours is too long.
But like, you give it like a couple hours or something like
Maybe
that.
it'd be like maybe it's like a preset course, sort of like
Yeah.
in terms of like, here's a giant town square.
Mm-hmm.
Avoid this.
Yeah.
Go.
I like it.
And you
I
have
like
to
it.
get through the city and go to this place. Yeah.
I think that could work. I think that could
avoid
work.
cars.
So we've got high velocity, book smart, avoid, and we've also got small talk and phone roulette. TV show producers listening to this podcast, you got a lot to work with here. Give us a call. Send us an email, therandomwordblog@gmail.com, because I know that's the majority of our audience is TV show producers. So
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
yeah.
Just do it! I don't think so. Just do it!
These pop screens are so dirty.
Oh, I know, because it's just covered in our us.
Pizza residue.
Yeah, it's gross. It's Do's and Don'ts, the segment where we help you out, give you some do's, we give you some don'ts for everyday scenarios. So, Salty Dalton, let's start with one I hear the pen. I hear the pen.
I was just seeing if you could hear it.
No, I'm like a dog. I can hear the whistle. Let's start with one that may happen to some people. It can happen from time to time. I actually knew there was somebody at the company before me that got fired for this very offense because it happened way too much, and that is sleeping at work. See, that could have gone in many different directions.
I was like, hold on.
Sleeping at
work.
So we've all been there.
Yeah.
It was a long night the night before. You stayed up late for a concert or a TV show.
It's a lunch meeting. It happens during the lunch hour. Maybe you just ate. And I have
You're a little sleepy.
I've fought the sleepies in a lot of meetings, and I can say that my eyes have closed on several opportunities. But so it's like a weird balance. So it's either like, because I'm aware this is happening, you're fighting it.
Yeah.
It just makes you more tired.
It does.
And like I do this
a lot of
thing where,
yawns.
then I like force my eyes open like this, but then I feel like I look like a goddamn insane person.
Maniac. It happened to me a lot in like
So
school.
I do one where I hold up the thing and I look down like away
so
from
let's give some
people.
do's and don'ts for this because that's what we want to help the people out. Because
there's a guy that I work with that has literally slept through so many meetings, just out blazingly, just like this, like just doesn't care anymore.
Really?
Yeah, it's insane.
That's
Can't
pretty
be fired.
impressive.
Can't be fired. He's been here too long.
Wow. God, that's got to be the dream.
They just work around him. Yeah.
So do's and don'ts for sleeping at work. Why don't you go ahead and start us off with a do?
Okay, so a do. You know what? One thing you can probably do right off the bat is carry some sort of. You're gonna have to go make yourself one of those medical alert bracelets.
Yeah.
And write narcolepsy on it or something.
I was gonna go in that direction. I was gonna
And
say
so-
doctor's note. That's it.
And so when you pass out, that would work too. So
Yeah.
when you pass out and you're like this, and someone's like, "Hey, wake up!" and you just go, "Oh, sorry," and you pull up the thing, be like, "I have narcolepsy. I just switched medication. I'm really sorry. I'm gonna try my best to," and then you just fall asleep mid-sentence.
Yeah.
That time you fake it. They think it's real. They're gonna be like, "Hey, don't worry about it. It's a medical
condition.
medical
Like,
condition.
You're covered.
Take care of it."
That's not bad. I like that. My do, similar vein involving lying, is and there's a yawn right there. So you're a little sleepy.
Whoa.
So here's what you got to do. So it might take a little bit of work because you're gonna have to lie, but anytime you get caught sleeping at work, all you have to say to get some sympathy is, "Oh man, sorry about that. New baby." Because everyone understands that if you have a young child, you're not getting much sleep.
That's a good one, yeah.
You got to now. And here's the key thing. Your wife doesn't even have to have a baby for you to use that excuse.
Of course not.
They don't have to know.
They just have to not know her.
You just need Google image search. Go to like the 5th page. Nobody goes to the 5th page of a Google search. Pick a random picture of a baby, print it out, put it at your desk. People go, "Oh, that's so cute." Yeah, new baby. And then use that for like a year or two.
And then keep updating and maybe have another baby until
Yeah,
you
well,
have
that's
like
the
9
thing.
babies. That's
That
like
can-
9 years worth of sleeping.
That can work you through so
That's a
many
career.
Because all you get in a little micro nap in there, somebody catches you. "Oh man, sorry about that, new baby," and they go, "Oh, that's so
Had
cute."
to take her to the hospital last night. She's not sleeping well.
That's all. Especially
Yeah.
mention the hospital, any sort of medical condition.
Oh, yeah.
What are they going to be like? "Oh no. You can. Why don't you just take
No,
the rest
Jim,
of the day
you
off?"
can't. Yeah, you can't sleep here with your.
Yeah, they're going to
sick
be like, "Why don't you just go
baby."
home? Why don't you
Yeah.
just go home with the baby?" And you're like, "Are you sure? Are you sure? I've got a lot to do." And they're like, "No, take care of your kid.
You know, work from home. Yeah,
Work from
best
home.
scenario
For the next couple months. Why not?"
for the next couple of months.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
that would
here's
be
a blank check.
yeah. Here's $500,000. That's my do. What's a don't for sleeping? What should people avoid?
So, sleeping at work is all about where you are.
Yeah.
So let's just say if you the most rewarding one to do would be sleeping during a meeting, right?
Oh, yeah.
But it's hard to pull off. But positioning your body is key. You don't want to be too obvious about it. You need to set yourself up where you can lean against something, whether it be at your desk, out of sight. You need to set up the books. You need to. You can't be front and center with it. You need to take precautions in order to do that. So don't be too obvious about it.
Yeah.
Set up your work area to facilitate you with the lean, with the pencil, so anyone that isn't in your space directly doesn't know. Now, if you snore, I can't help you there.
No, that's a
You could
disclaimer.
put on a breathe right strip right before, but honestly, that might be a little suspicious.
Yeah.
Hey, don't people wear those for sleeping?
You're like, no, it's because I have a broken nose.
Yeah.
I'd be like, oh, I guess
From
so.
my narcolepsy,
Yeah.
jackass.
You could go, I guess that could work because my new baby gave me the narcolepsy.
Yeah.
And a broken nose. She's got a mean right hook. So my don't would be, don't be afraid to utilize the space underneath your desk.
That's a
Because
good one.
remember,
Yeah.
I mean, George Costanza taught us this about
Oh,
making
yeah.
a little napping spot under his desk. And that's what you can, because here's the thing, unless you have like a shared desk situation, you probably have your own desk. There's some foot room and leg room and things like that. There's probably some extra room there. Utilize it, because no one's checking underneath your desk. Let's say the boss is walking by, he looks in through the window, sees your desk. Oh, Ben must be at lunch, or Ben must be in the bathroom. No, Ben's asleep underneath the desk with a pillow, getting some great Z's. So don't be afraid to utilize the space underneath your desk. That'll be my
That's a
do.
good one. Yeah, I like
My
that
don't.
one. Yeah.
Next one here, Salty Dalton. How about, well, I'll let you select this one. Just don't pick one we've already done. A lot of these we've already done.
Have we done moving day? That might be topical because you're
Let's
moving.
go ahead and do it. Even if we have, I don't care. I don't know if we have. That's the thing.
I can't remember either.
Let's just go with it. Let's go with
Okay.
moving day.
Give me a do for moving day.
Moving day. Okay. Do. Oh, here's a good one. So, do feel free to. You've got a lot of different items, right? There's a lamp over here. There's a ladder over here. There's this thing. Do feel free to utilize the ability to strap all of those items together and carry them as one.
Okay.
So, very easy to do this. Bungee cords or rope or something like that. All you have to do is form a lasso type thing. Lasso around all of your stuff. Tighten that knot. Throw it over your back. There you go. You have all your items in one.
Your ladder, your lamp.
Yeah, your ladder, your lamp, your basketball.
Yeah.
Maybe like a glass or two, like a cup, and put it all in that. Lasso it up, tighten it up, throw it over your back. Who needs a U-Haul at that point? It's a U-Haul.
Oh, I like that. So one thing you can do is moving is a pain.
It is.
Everyone hates it.
A couple weeks. I'm 2 weeks away from it.
Guess what? Hiring movers is expensive, right?
It is. Yeah, we're not doing it for this time.
You get the truck.
We're hiring you.
You get the truck, and this is a two-parter. First part, you get the truck, you pull it upside your house. And what you're going to do there is you're going to leverage the independent film community. You're going to put ads out for extras in a TV show.
Yeah.
And you're going to have to make it seem legit, and you're going to be like, yeah, this is a documentary style thing. We want to capture the essence of certain scenes, but we need you to move that stuff on this truck, act like you're a mover, have them dress the part. They'll move stuff onto the truck. You go, perfect. We got amazing B-roll. You take all their names, information, and say, we'll let you know when it releases. Then you drive the truck over to the new house. Boom, different set of actors. You go, okay, we need some footage of you carrying this off the truck into the house. We'll direct you where it goes. You put fake mics on them. You say you're mic'd up. Act with how the scene goes. You're a moving guy. Your motivation is it's hot. You're tired. You just hauled this over here. Let yourselves improv with each other. You sit back. They're gonna be like, man, I'm sick of this shit. And they're moving things, and they'll be talking to themselves. You just have to. You don't even need a tape in the camera.
Yeah.
You just need someone to follow them around. They'll do the whole dialogue. They'll talk to themselves. They think it's a great opportunity for their acting career. Then you go, perfect, that's a wrap. You get their information, you send them on your way. You have just moved locations, and the only effort you yourself did was rent a truck.
This is very impressive. I mean, you may not have had a 5-star fishbowl invention, but this is a 5-star idea.
That's a great idea.
It's fantastic.
Use and abuse that. Craigslist ad, anything.
Man,
yeah.
I'm going to give a don't now. So here's the thing. One of the things if you do get a U-Haul or some sort of transportation, where they get you sometimes is on the mileage. How far the truck is moving. Well, here's how to diminish that entirely. You still get the truck, but you got to find a buddy that has a truck of his own, and you can attach the U-Haul to that truck.
That's
amazing. Therefore, it's not gaining.
You just tow the U-Haul to another place.
U-Haul. It's not gaining any mileage on the dash whatsoever.
This can't be right. You checked it out with this many miles, and you returned it with the same amount of miles. Did you drive anywhere? I don't know. Did I?
At that point, you're just using it as a big box. You're not using any mileage whatsoever. You don't have to refill the gas. It's already full. There's nothing else to do. All you have to do is get the truck to your house, fill it up, then get your buddy and to tow it, and then you're all set, man.
That's also great. I like that a lot because I just think it'd be really funny to see when you check it back in, and they're like, it has a full tank and everything.
Yeah.
Literally, no one has driven this truck, which is weird because we checked it out to you. You had to drive off the lot.
Yeah, yeah.
But you drive like a quarter mile before the odometer ticks over, load it onto a thing. Yeah, it'd be perfect.
That's it. What's your don't?
My don't is don't pack everything into a lot of discrete small boxes because guess what? You move it all into the house, and then you're stuck staring at 50 boxes.
Yeah, I'm not looking forward to it. We have so many brown boxes.
You unload 10, guess what? There's 20 more to fill its place, right?
Yeah.
So what you should do is just to combat that, so don't use little boxes, use gigantic boxes.
That's the way
I'm talking like 3 boxes, whole house.
A room full.
That way, when you unpack a box, you go, there's only 2 left. When you unpack that one, there's only 1 left. It's the mental game that you have to play with yourself. So don't use a bunch of small boxes. Just use the big box.
Like one room-sized box.
Yes.
You put the couch in there, the chairs in there.
Like
and
that's the only box that fits in the U-Haul.
Into the U-Haul.
Yeah.
It's just one box. And you'd
be like,
brilliant.
hey,
it's all in there.
Honey, we're almost done. We just need
you
this
could
one
just take
box.
a knife and slice it open and then go get your stuff, form a little doorway.
Yeah,
like
walk
how they
right
do
in there.
With handles for the
and
boxes.
It's a second, and you know what? That's a second house. You just go live in that one.
It's not a bad idea. I like it. I think if you're listening to the show, you're getting a hell of a lot of great information. Let's move on here real quick. I think we're getting a. Is that you? Yeah. You're
I don't really recognize the number.
It's probably spam. Yeah.
Hello, Random Word Podcast.
Oh,
tricked again. Acting.
Wait. So you're telling me it's not delivery?
It's not delivery.
It's
and
call
that wasn't,
center?
And that it's call center. And that wasn't a real phone call.
Holy hell. That's incredible. It's a call center, people. The Random Word Blog at gmail.com. That's the Random Word Blog at gmail.com. If you know it, you know it. Like that's the weird thing. Like Washington Post has a slogan like that. It's like, if you don't get it, you don't get it. And like that's one of their slogans.
I guess.
You're like, what don't I get?
It's one of those things. It's where it's like, you're not wrong, I guess.
Yeah.
But like that's a little
condescending. You don't get it.
If you don't get the paper, you don't get the paper.
You don't know anything.
You're right. Yeah.
You don't know anything about the world. Call center Salty Dalton. So the great people of this nation have reached out to us. You and me, just laymen of this planet that we call Earth. And they've sought us out, and they've asked some things, and they've told us some things. And it starts with Karen, who's 26 years old.
Okay.
Email subject line, cloning crisis. Karen says, if you had to clone yourself, would you want them to be a perfect copy or slightly less powerful or identical? This is a pretty loaded
yeah, this is interesting.
Question.
I've thought about this before because think about it like a Kyle XY sort of situation where think about how great it would be to have clones of yourself, right?
Mm-hmm.
You could send them to go do the chores, you go to work for me, stuff like that. But those clones are identical to you, so they have the same strength. If one of them decided to overpower you, 1, they'd be identical to you. 2, they'd have the same strength as you, so they have the same cunning, the same wit. Maybe they surprise you. They would be able to take you down. Now,
that's
have
the
a
worry.
Slightly less powerful clone or one that sort of looks familiar to Dalton means you can still get away with doing stuff, but he'll never fight back against you.
They definitely need to be slightly less looking. Like they got to be a little uglier than you. So that way, when people are looking at you, they go, oh yeah, no, he is pretty good looking. Because they see your clone and be like, oh, he's kind of ugly. But they're like, oh.
That or they interact with the clone all day, then they see you and they're like,
he's got to be very plain and very boring.
Yes.
It's got to be ugly, boring person is your clone.
It has to be boring just enough to blend in, but look just enough like you to not raise any questions.
And to be able to utilize for situations where, just like how twins will utilize each other for certain things, like, they take the other person's test or
actually,
whatever
Brittany
the case
did that all
may
the
be.
time. They would just they would go and to get her pool passes.
Yeah.
she would go as Ashley and then bring Brittany's ID and go as Brittany.
Yeah, that's
and
solid.
get the pictures taken. No one questioned anything.
Why would they? You look
Right?
exactly alike.
And all you have to do is say, hey, it's identical, and the IDs are different. And so
Yeah.
they're in their mind, they're like, okay, yeah, sure.
It's a good strategy, Karen. Karen. But
I
also, real quick for Karen, you do understand if you do clone the person, you have to kill them because they're, at some point they may try to kill you, but you have to be
when
the one
they
that kills
understand
them.
what their existence is.
Yeah.
And odds are, if they're cloning the exact same level you are, honestly, they're going to be thinking the same thing.
Yeah.
They're going to be like, okay, how do I get rid of the original?
There's nothing. A fight to the death.
Nothing separating us.
Yeah.
You never know which one's going to come home at the end of the day. Your wife won't know.
Nope. She's gonna be like, "Whose pool pass is
Yeah.
this?"
So I think Karen, we're both on the side of a less,
uglier,
a lower version of
lower
yourself.
version that you have to kill.
Yes, and you always have to kill them.
Yeah.
Okay, so our next email here comes in Brantley.
Oh, Brantley, and this one's all the way from Europe. I think that's a .eu email address that he sent it from.
Yeah.
Wow.
All right. Cool.
So Brantley
is 33. Destination unknown is the subject line.
poor
Vacations are expensive. I can never accrue enough PTO. That's paid time off.
Oh.
And the flights are so goddamn expensive. Any ideas on a good, cheap vacation spot? Maybe some unique ones.
So Brantley,
Balling on a
vacationing.
budget. He's trying to ball on a budget.
He's trying to ball on a budget. So Brantley, here's an easy one. You got a backyard? Yes. Do you have a tent that you can't see through? Yes. Easy. Pitch the tent out in your backyard. Go in the tent. You could be anywhere at that point. So just imagine, I'm camping in Shenandoahs, or I'm in this, and you just hang out in that tent for a night or two, and maybe bring you can even make bring one of those portable grills or whatever you can do, and cook some food out there, and just it's a camping experience that's in your backyard, literally.
Okay, yeah, I like that. One thing you can probably try to do is do a destination vacation close to home. So treat it as if you're going there and you're staying there. So I'm talking
just go to your neighbor's house.
maybe it's a grocery store, and you're gonna sleep there overnight, and you're going to maybe go to a grocery store you've never been to before.
Ooh.
And explore all the aisles and
intriguing.
hang out in there. There's a lot of different ways you could do that, but you got to really make sure to spend the entire day there, including the night, and that really solidifies the fact that it's a vacation.
Yeah.
You're doing something different. You're experiencing something different, but all it costs you is the gas money to drive there.
Another idea: break into somebody else's house. And then
I
it's
like that a
then
lot,
it's like
yeah.
an Airbnb.
Airbnb.
Oh man, this is a fascinating
Air
experience.
breaking and entering. Airbnb.
Oh wow, it's a double meaning.
Airbnb.
All right, that's
Okay,
good.
yeah.
That's good. So Brantley, that's
I don't think
clearly,
we'll find a better joke in that pile.
clearly
Yeah.
your best idea. So Vic, last one here. Vic, 23 years old, haunted house helper. We did talk a little haunted house last episode.
Look at that alliteration.
Question is, I am pretty positive my house is haunted. Not in a murderous paranormal activity way, but definitely haunted. Ways I can either get the ghost out or tips on how to live with this. I literally just bought the house and I would be out a lot of money if I tried to move again soon. Now, this would be a great operation for Nova Spies.
Nova Spies, yeah.
Yeah, go back and listen to that episode where we interviewed them if you do want some help there. But if you don't have the Nova Spies as help, what do you do here? So it's not a situation where Vic is going to get murdered by the ghost.
So his life's not in danger, right? So he's...
Sure.
So
It's more of like a poltergeist, like annoyance.
It's really just having a ghost roommate, right? So...
Yeah.
I mean, there's a couple different... Maybe... one thing you could probably do to make them feel more at home. I'm assuming if the ghost has been there, you're moving into their house.
Yeah, technically, yeah. Because
Right.
they've been there for hundreds of years because they're dead.
So one thing that you can do is, grab a sheet, cut 2 little eye holes in it, wear it. You're going to be a ghost too. So you're going to put them at home. You'll wander around the house, go, ooh.
Yeah, make them feel
Just
familiar.
do your day-to-day activities. Wear that sheet whenever you're in the house at all times. It'll make them more calm. They won't act up. They'll do their ghost things. You do your human ghost things.
Yeah.
Maybe that's a good way to create some balance in the relationship.
I think there's that, and I also think another way to create that balance is boundaries. So you explain to the ghosts, all right, your territory is attic and basement. My territory is the middle of the house. And then so what happens is you stay away from their territories, and they can stay up there. They can hang out in the attic. They can hang out in the basement. You've got the middle of the house.
What if they don't want? What if they make you get the attic?
Well, then that's the way the cookie crumbles.
That's just bad negotiation.
Yeah, you got to be able to close the deal. If not, you may have to live in the attic for a few years. I mean, that might just be the situation. But besides that, there's really not a lot of options unless you're able to find a ghost hunter that can literally go in and kill the ghost. But you can't tell the ghost that's what you're doing. So here's the thing. I
got a buddy coming over.
Yeah, buddy coming over.
Cool. You might just kind of walk around a little bit. Just be sure to
the
come out,
vacuum.
say hi to him. Yeah, ignore the.
That's how they suck up the ghost with the vacuum.
It's just a vacuum, like a commercial vacuum, and they just go like.
It's like a Dyson. They're like, nobody has these anymore.
Just picks up the vacuum.
It's like Ghostbusters. Really.
Ghost killing time.
That's exactly what happens. So you call the Ghostbuster team, and they show up, and they're like, "Who are you gonna call?" And they're like, "Ghostbusters." And you're like, no. Who though? Who are you gonna? Are you calling someone? Who are you calling? And then it's a good Abbott and Costello bit there for you and the ghost. And the ghost are chilling in the couch like, you want some popcorn, ghost? And the kernels just goes into the air and then disappears.
And then they eat it and it floats in their tummy and you just see it and you're like, oh, and then it's there forever.
I mean, you could befriend them. Casper situation, really.
Yeah, I mean, why not?
Ghost.
It's worth a shot. If he's not bothering you, chances are maybe he just wants a buddy.
Yeah, so maybe you should just chill out there, Vic. And just kind of
Vic.
Yeah, Vic, just like see what the deal is. Maybe they're a nice guy or girl. Maybe it's a nice ghost. You don't know that. You gotta maybe have some discussions with them. Kind of see how they feel about like politics or like human rights issues, ghost issues, which is real big. Nobody really talks about the ghost issues out there as far as like who has the rights for ghosts. And this was a ghost.
Yeah, I mean they follow a lot of activists. Maybe Booney Sanders and Hey.
I don't have anything. That's really good. I don't have any
Jeb
other.
Bush.
Wow. Okay. I'll just let you go.
Left and right. Yeah.
Wind you up and let you go.
Let me at him.
You're like the monkey with the symbols.
Except with ghost political jokes of two specific
that might be your
politicians.
Wheelhouse.
Yeah, maybe
we might have discovered your wheelhouse. Well, on that note, that about does it for episode 39. We only have one more of this season to go, and that is next week. The big quiz will be happening next week featuring the wives. So get ready for that.
Featuring.
We'll have multiple microphones. We'll have an extra one for Ashley if she wants to add anything. Abby will be the moderator. It will be interesting. We'll see how that plays out next week. Salty Dalton, we're at the end of the show, so you know what that means.
Yeah, I got it ready. It's pulled up.
You have the joke ready?
It's a phrase.
Oh, it's a phrase. Because I thought we were doing the phrase and then the joke is at the end. We've done that every episode.
No, I know what you're trying to do.
I know.
If you kept that going a little longer, I probably would have believed you because I forgot what we did in the first half of the show already. Because it's 6 hours long.
Yeah, maybe I'll ghost you.
Oh.
And then I just never come back to your house. Ever. What if we stopped at 39? You know how many people that would, like, how many, like, ADD people, not ADD, OCD, sorry. OCD people that would
ADD people would still just not be able to focus on the episode?
I've listened to 10 seconds. I can't concentrate. How many OCD people we would piss off if we stopped at an odd number?
We'd probably get an angry letter being like, could you just at least put out a sentence?
Like, we don't care about your show.
This is episode 40. We out. And it's done.
You can't do 39. So what's the phrase here, Salty? I'll turn things over to you.
Okay.
With the phrase.
The phrase?
What do we got?
The phrase that pays?
That pays. What are we looking at here?
What am I? Chopped liver? Do you like that one?
I thought we did that one.
Did we?
Wait, hold on. Here we go. Wait, here we go. Whoa.
Oh, God.
Remember this? Remember when we used to use this for the word? I'm just kidding. We don't have to actually do the drum roll. But all right. So, no, we're not doing what am I chopped liver. Give me another one.
Okay.
Need a good one to end the show.
Elvis has left the building.
I like it. I like it.
Too.
They used to say that a lot because, like, he would, walk into places and then have to walk out because he was.
Yeah, and they'd be like, "Elvis has left the building."
I gotta go, everybody.
I mean, nothing but a hound dog.
He just talks only like that, only with the names of his songs is how he spoke. So that's the Elvis podcast, Elvis Cast here on the Random Word Podcast. Besides that, we'll see you next week for episode 40. Sayonara, my sweet suckers.
We out. Like that pause?
Yeah, that was good.
So we call it in the industry a pregnant pause.
With my blue
Ain't nothing but a hound dog.